Hello everyone, this is Nurdin Mohammed, a Python programming. Today we will talk about visualization in Python with Matplotlib. First, what is Matplotlib.pyplot? It is a plotting library used for 2D graphics in Python programming language. Okay, how we could import it into our Python? I'm working on Jupyter, as you know. First, import matplotlib.byplot as plot for simplification, not more. And this is the magic line that will make all the graphs appear inside this Jupyter notebook. Enter, no outcome. This means I run the code. No outcome because it's imported. Okay? First, we will do a simple line graph. Line graphs here, enter, and voila, here is our line graph with simple lines. You create three simple codes, you created a line graph. Okay, what about if we want to add some titles? As here I added x label, plot.x label, some numbers, y label, the same. Here I want to plot two two lines. Here I plotted only one array, one line. Here I want to plot two lines. Enter, and here it is also the two lines. Okay, what I want to plus plotting two lines, I want to add a name for the graph, for the x-axis, and so on. So here it is. I plotted two lines with a name for the graph and name for the x-axis. Also, I can change the width of the line. How is this done? Here, the title is a square number, font size is 24. X label is value, font size is 14. And the line of the graph, the line width is 5. If I change it to, for example, 10, it became thicker. So I can change all I want in my line graph. Okay, now what about bar graph? Bar graph is used for comparison and it changes over period of time. Here, this is a very simple bar graph, and here it is. I used one, two, three categories and the numbers for it. Okay, what if I want to add x, the name of x line? So here is my data 1 to 3 and the numbers assigned to these categories. Here I want to specify the x coordinates. Plot.xtext 1 to 3 as ABC and show. And here it will write A, B, C. Okay, I want to put a name for this X line. So I added some number. X label is some numbers. Here bar, plot.bar 1 to 3 and the numbers, and tick label, another way to write it, and plot.x label, some numbers, and show. Great. Okay, here are some numbers. Okay, I want to change and modify and more personalize my graph. So I want to plot this bar graph with these numbers. Label is data 1 and the plot bar another numbers and label is data 2. I want to do a comparison between two data. The color of the width of the first is zero point 0.5 and the width of the second is zero point 0.5 also. Here I specified the color of data too. And I want the legend. The legend is to show, I will show you when we make it. The legend is to show what is X and what is Y. Plot X label for days, and title is information and show. Here, information for, sorry, a legend is to show which color is for which data, because here I'm making a comparison. So the graph name is information, the X label is days, as you see. The X label is say days, as you see, and here I specified the blue for data 1 and red for data 2. Here you can notice that I didn't assign a color for data 1. It's made blue by default, but I assigned color R, which is red, for data 2. Okay, here now we are going to see histogram. Histogram is more the difference between histogram and bar graph is that histogram is done more for distribution, while bar, as we said, for comparison. Here I'm comparing the two data with each other, while histogram is for distribution. Bands refer to the range of values divided into several intervals. Here the arrays I created are an array. Plotting the histogram is plot.hist array, the array I created. Bins are 5. I want 5 bins to be separated by 5. Face color I want to specify it by green, and alpha to specify the width of it. And here it is. Here are my 5 bins and the alpha and green. Okay, now I want to compare different thing. Population age. Here I have a population age, array of population age, and I specified the bands. He notes that bands are separated by each other by 10. As you see, 0, 10, 20, 30, and so on. The histogram population age bands are specified. Histotype is bar, width is zero point 0.8. X label is age groups, and the title I want it to be titled histogram. And here, as you see, the bins I added, the histogram, and the age of the groups. And this is the histogram and the difference between histogram and bar graph. Scatter. Scatter is used to compare variables and their effect on each other. We will start by a simple scatter uh, graph. We used this data at the first bar graph, and here this will not give us the data we want. I only wanted you to see the difference between this scatter plot and this bar graph. They are the same data as you see. So you must choose your type of plotting according to the data you want to visualize. Okay, here I created an X array, a Y array, and a X1 and the Y1 arrays. I want to compare between them. Okay, um, here plot scatter X and Y. Will label is high income, low saving. Color is R, red. Plot scatter X1 and Y1 label it with low income, high saving. Color is blue. X label I wanted to saving, multiply 100, and plot title is scatter plot. Legend to show the legend, as I told you before, what color is for what, and show, and enter. As you see here, I can know what color is for what, and here the scatter plot shows us what we want, and the x-axis is titled. Okay, another type is the area plot or stack plot. Plot or area plot are used for track changes over time for two or more related groups that make one category. As you see here, I big different arrays for days, 4 days, and sleeping hours over these days, eating hours, and working and playing hours. Here I want to plot, and I edit the colors and label each with the label I want. Plot, stack, plot. Days to take days from here. Sleeping to take sleeping information, working, and so on. And color for each respectively. X label, I labeled it with X. Title is stack plot. Legend to show me the color for each and show. As you see here, the stack plot is colorful um, and give a reliable data. Here, as you see, sleeping, I assigned it for the color purple, which is M. There is a color map for um, for for plotting for Matplotlib colors. You can search it, Google it. Here, eating is this color. I don't know what is it, and working and playing is black. Okay, Um and now what about pie graph? Pie graph is a circular graph used to show the percent or proportion of data as each slice is a category. Here I'm using a simple data to first show you a simple pie graph. Enter, and here it is, 30, 60, and 50. Okay, this pie graph um, is not reliable because I don't know which is what. So I will add a category. I will add my labels is ABC and respectively for 30, 60, and 50, and my labels. Here, sorry, we must add this colon, this comma, and here it is. A, B, and C. Okay, what about if you remember this data of the stack plot? I want to do it in the pie graph. The days, the sleeping, eating, working, and slices. Activities, I divided it into four categories about those four, and colors. I added the colors and labels and shadow. I want to do shadow with start angle is 90, and here we will show, as you see, by plot. The name of it is by plot. I added a shadow. I playing, working, eating, and sleeping. I changed some of the colors, and as you see, this is another way of um, plotting. We talked today about what is Matplotlib. It's a 2D graphic used for 2D graphs. First of all is the line graph. It's the most simple. We can change and add, as you see here, title and the X label, and also for the Y label. And we can change the width of the line and the font size of the whole graph, or for X or Y. Bar graph is used for comparison, comparing data. Here is a bar graph of very simple data, while here we added the X labels, and we added a name for X, some numbers. Here is a more complicated bar graph where we compare two different set of data 1 and data 2 with two different color, and the legend is to show us and the name of X or Y and the name of the graph. Also, the histogram is more for distribution, and here is a simple graph with a simple array and the color of it. And here is another histogram with a more array of a population age, for example, and pens, and the width of the bar, and the type is bar, and the name of the graph and the name of the um x line. And here is the scatter plot. Here the scatter plot here was not reliable, so here are you this show you that you must choose what type of plotting you need according to your data. Here I created X and Y array and an X1 and a Y1 array, and compare each of it. This is here I'm comparing two different sets with two different colors, the legend to show me. And then we talked about stack plot, where it's like a line plot but with a more colorful way, as I add the arrays I want and the color of each one, and then showing my graph. Okay, here is a pie graph, not reliable. And then I added some data, and then we did what we used the data that we used in stack plot to do the pie plot to show you the difference in visualization of the same data. And thank you, and see you in the next time.